Hello, my name is GregTech, and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. Last episode, we started upgrading our chemical plant to get ready for rocket fuel, and we got a lot, or most, of the mysterious crystal ingots. I might have a few more in there. I don't have the... Yeah, it's still going a little bit. And we got 200 left. So I'm just letting that work as I'm doing other things. I have let our Indian bee go like crazy. We got like 30,000 combs, which can be turned into 30,000 indium. We just need to mix it with talic acid. And yeah, I've got there's quite a few combs that I want to work on at some point. I just haven't got to them. Space combs and stringy combs probably can just be voided, to be honest. I just haven't dealt with them because they're byproducts from another bee, and you can't change that. But I ran into a little bit of a roadblock, and by a little bit, I mean a pretty big one. I have gone ahead and redone how I craft on the chemical plant. I left the oxygen and the hydrogen in there, but I got rid of the ammonia and nitric acid. We'll just do it on demand as needed, because usually this rocket fuel lasts me for quite a while. Like, you only use about 5% of the whole tank when you fly up to a planet, so that's like 20 trips before I would need to refuel. So, you know, like 10 buckets of rocket fuel lasts me quite some time. But I've gone ahead and just put the dual interface on our buffer, and then it gets piped into a quad input hatch as needed, and then the items, if there's any, get pumped into there. So pretty standard. Oh, I thought that was an elevator. Pretty standard setup for the chemical reactor, but or chemical plant. The one problem I've run into is rocket fuel. I didn't realize this was a thing. I'm at tier 5 with the tungsten steel, the robust tungsten steel frames. We actually need the next tier up, and it is right there. It actually does say. So there is a couple ways to get this stuff, but unfortunately, this is quite annoying. There is a few things here that I would need to work on. Ytterbium, I don't have a great source of. Cerium, I haven't finished that production line, which I'll have to do to get the cerium. I had some from an earlier craft. I don't the peaky whatever stuff, but I only needed a little bit for one of the multi-block. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, I never finished this line. And then there's these two dusts, which require their own kind of craziness. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about doing this. So let me kind of decide how I want to do this. There are a few ways. There could be like multiple multi-blocks I could get into and all sorts. But yeah, let me figure this out. Alright, we are back, and I've done a couple things here, getting prepared to get the items that we need. And one of them is I have got our miner running again. And I put a bunch of the ores that I didn't want in the blacklist. I totally forgot to do that originally. So a lot of this stuff, like... I think like Wolfenite was one of them and stuff like that. I have blacklisted, so we're not getting them. So pretty much everything, all the ores that are coming in are actually pretty useful. And everything keeps up with it except the thermal centrifuge, which is not unsurprising. But I am getting a whole bunch of osmium ore, which is pretty cool, along with a whole bunch of other stuff, purified neutronium. And the main reason I wanted to do this was for the molybdenite. And also the uranium is quite helpful too for our radon production. because it goes through quite a bit of that. Although I just need to deal with that as well. There's quite a few things I need to deal with at this point. But yeah, the molybdenite is probably what we're going to go with. Just because molybdenum is a very... We get it both. And like... I've gotten 700 of that, but I've only got 40 of that. So I think we're going to use this to get the molten rhenium. There is a couple: scheelite, molybdenum, molybdenite. Pretty sure scheelite is not from... Yeah, that's on Triton, unfortunately. I can't remember why I'm on... I don't remember why I decided to go to Proteus, but it's on Proteus. But it doesn't matter. We'll get that from that. So that is that one. I have also, if we notice this, if we remember, we were getting Krypton from our mining station or whatever, on the space station. And I realized as I was doing some bee stuff, we can actually get gas from combs. So I've actually bred up Krypton bees, and it's actually running now. And yeah, so I got helium, neon, argon, krypton, and xenon. I was going to pump xenon into the void miner because it gives times 16. But kind of missed the part where it says it needs to be produced in the Mega Apiary. So can't get that yet, but Krypton can. So as we see, we got Krypton, and I'm just fluid extracting that for the Krypton. Now I'm just letting that super tank empty out, and then I'm going to attach this directly to the void miner with the ender or whatever they're called. But I'm just waiting for that to empty out first. But yeah, so that is why we are getting 8 times ore. And that is why the thermal centrifuge can't keep up with it. But we'll fix that. As we can see. Just all chugging away. I love it. And plus, getting resources is fun. We might as well use all this power that we're producing. Alright, so that is that. Next thing, I need to do the Cerium line. So that is, what is it, under IV, I think? Yeah. So I gotta do this a little bit. Not too bad. But that will get us the Cerium. There's that uranium stuff. Not too complicated. But I need to set that up. And I figured while I was kind of waiting for stuff to produce, I would actually also finally get our crops 31. Now that we put them in here, we don't have to worry about weeds growing. And the reason I want that is because I need the biotite for fluorine. And the reason we need fluorine is to make rare earth. So that was a long way to get around to making rare earth. And we need fluorine for hydrofluoric acid, and we need it for the Naquadah line and stuff. So, yeah. But, like I said, I'm going to work on this and then the Cerium thing. So we'll probably do that next. I don't think I'm going to go this route. That is a lot of work when... just for, like, a couple items. Like, 3 multi-blocks, like, yeah, it's a bit much. 2, I would maybe consider, but each of these has its own kind of crazy recipe. So, yeah, I'm thinking we'll just go the rare earthwork. Okay, quick update. I managed to get a growth 31 here. And... I'm gonna try, I should be able to, I threw a lead block underneath to get this to full size, and as we can see, with the World Accelerator, it makes it much easier to get the thing. Now, I'm gonna try to break it, we might not get it, I'll be sad, but All right, there we go. We did get a 31 growth. So that is 31, 31 stats for our crops now. Basically, I can get rid of this. We don't need to do this. In case you don't know how I was doing it, I took our 23 crop and kept breeding it until I got a 25 growth, and then I used the data orbs to craft up to 25 growths, and then I did it till I got 27, then 29, and now I just got 31. So you do have a chance of jumping up 2 stats. So that's how I did that. It was easier. I have UU matter now, so yeah, I think we are good. We never have to worry about breeding crops ever again. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't say that. If we need a specific crop, then yes, you will have to. We'll have to keep breeding. But for now, I'm just gonna break all this down and not have to worry about this. I will deal with these crops in here and upgrade them because they are only the lower 2331 seeds. So whichever ones I decide, I'm going to get the better ones. All right, we are back, and really quick, I've actually set up a bunch of bees here, and I am using them to actually produce gases that we are using. This one is chugging along, producing nitrogen gas, and 37 nitrogen combs, and it is keeping up. I think we're producing a bunch of ammonia right now at the moment, but I'm actually, we can see, transporting it with the ender fluid conduits into my tanks. Now, I wish I could put the fluid thing right directly on top of these tanks, but unfortunately you can't do that. It has to go on some sort of GregTech container. So I decided, I don't know, maybe the Enderium. I don't particularly love it, but I do kind of like being able to see the drain underneath. But I have done that, and I'm starting to wonder, now these are like super expensive. I mean, they're not expensive for me anymore, but they are definitely expensive once you first hit LUV. I'm starting to wonder, I'm like, should we start transferring fluids around with Ender IO conduits? Or with the Ender fluid things instead of the P2P? I mean, that would get rid of a whole bunch of channels. I mean, I do love my... I don't want to get rid of the tanks. That's definitely, like... That's never going to happen. I just love them. I just think they're so fun. Yeah, we're using ammonia, nitrogen, and hydrogen to produce ammonia at the moment. But thinking maybe I might start... can't remember where I put it. Yeah, hydrofluoric acid. Because I need hydrofluoric acid. Obviously, this is going to multiple places. Let's see. I'm actually going to try this. I'll put that on there. Get some spooky ooky noises. I think we're up to 5. Alright. So that is set to 5 import. There is a little buffer. I think it's about 16,000 or 32,000 mil. I'm not quite sure what the buffer is, but there is definitely a buffer in the into the ender. I was like, where does it go? Yeah, there's like a buffer in the ender. Now I'm going to put this on this over here. So usually with these that I would usually use a P2P, but I'm like, now we're like progressing. Is it time to start using these? So we'll do 5. Sometimes it's sometimes they are a bit weird. For some reason they won't let me type. export. And there we go. They're quicker and definitely cleaner and kind of high-techy. So I don't know. I might start doing that with anytime we need a new thing. The reason that wants hydrofluoric acid is for our rare earth that we are going to do. I may just do a... I was thinking... we just do a 3... I guess we'll do that recipe. They're gonna let me do that recipe. Yeah, there it goes. It's definitely not gonna... we're gonna get more. I wonder what, like, the average of that would be for. I don't know. Let's actually throw it through. We'll do... here. That's... no, we'll do 10. And we'll see what the average is. And then I will... see. I don't think we're going to be processing this a ton, but you never know. This might become super important. We'll do input bus rare earth. That should... it should work. There we go. It might have broken when I had it, when I was messing with the power. Alright, rare earth. We got 50 from 10, so we're averaging 5. Yeah, I guess we'll do 5. If it was something like super important, I probably would underestimate it, but this really isn't. This is just me doing this. I don't want to go through all the rare earth because I might need it for the other ones. So I don't know. I'm just kind of messing around. So if I want 9,000, which I think was my sort of guess, wasn't it? But all right, there we go. We'll let it go and see. I do think we're getting more actually as we... oh, I don't do bastnite. I do redstone though. And neodymium. So we are going to get it from redstone and neodymium, but we don't do the bastnite. That recipe. Alright, cool. So there is the rare earth that we're going to need for that. I've gone ahead and I've actually paused my thing at the moment. Just because my ore processing can't quite handle 8 times ore at the moment. I kind of knew that was going to be an issue. So I just paused it for the moment. And I might... it's basically this... maybe I'll double it up. Maybe make a second one, share walls kind of thing. I could even probably fit... I could actually fit 3 there if I wanted. I know probably not necessary to send it through there, but I don't know. I like the thermal... I like the thermal refinery. Alright, so that is that. And then we got... let me see. The rhenium needs to go through... not that one. Sir? No, there is no plasma. Yeah, I think we actually have enough now. It ran long enough that we actually have enough to use molybdenum. I mean, I have plenty of molybdenite if needed, but I think we actually have enough for the 40 that we need. Question is, how the heck am I going to do this? This really isn't set up well for a fluid and a... yeah, how the heck am I going to do this? It's not set up well for a fluid and a item recipe. So I have an input hatch there. I may end up just doing... Maybe I'll just manually throw the sulfuric in there. Again, I don't know if it's worth, like, setting up a whole thing for this one recipe at the moment. So I would just do whatever I need. I need 40, exactly 40 for the 79 that we need. So I need to do this... 160 times. So 160 times 625. I guess I don't need to be like that specific about it. But 160 times 625. 100,000. Yeah, that's not... I'll just manually do that. Alright, so we got that. We got our rare earth going, and then we'll get that. Oh, cerium. Yeah, that's the other part. Okay, we are back. I've gone ahead and we got our rhenium that we need. And the rare earth, we were off just a little bit from the... Oh, we're processing the osmium right now. The rare earth, we were off by about 400 on my thing. So we're not getting 5 on average, probably 4.8 or something like that. Not a big deal, because this isn't some super important recipe at the moment. So we got that, and I've gone ahead and started doing the next bit, which is the cerium line. Doesn't look overly complicated, but gone ahead and we're basically making ammonia chloride with hydrochloric acid and ammonia, which is in there. We send it over here to be mixed with the cerium dioxide dust from our A system, and that produces cerium chloride. I have it turned off so we don't accidentally void stuff. And then it produces ammonia, just voiding the steam, but we are producing ammonia, which is a 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm putting that back in the original one. Now I could do this with like adjacent hatches and stuff, but I thought, I don't know, pipes kind of make it look cooler. So maybe I'm gonna, as opposed to just long rows of chemical reactors, maybe add some pipes and stuff to make it look a bit cooler. And I've started doing the ender fluid hatches, which sometimes are a bit funny when you first place them down. Because they do store, there are some fluids stored in the ender. So sometimes they fill up, but once you get the right channel, it's fine. And I've also started making a list of which channels have what fluid. So hydrochloric acid and nitrogen for that. And then that is producing this next bit. Alright, so we got that. The next one I need is the cerium oxalate, which is the cerium chloride that we just produced mixed with oxalate. Now, oxalate's its own thing. There is a few ways to do it. Nitric acid, sugar, and vanadium pentoxide. Or we could just do ethanol and oxygen. That's another way to get it. I don't know if there is a more efficient way. That appears to probably be the most efficient way. And we are producing ethanol from something. I think that's ethanol right there. We have a whole full tank of it. So do we need... Let's see, we do have nitric oxide as a... Oh, no, wrong one. Oh, it's just water. Alright, cool. That's actually pretty easy. Input bus, 2 input hatches, and an output hatch. And how are we going to do that? Maybe... Okay, what do we do? No. We produce this, and then we send it to a thing. Also, this produces the hydrochloric acid again. I don't know. Like, does that produce enough hydrochloric acid for the process? So I need 2 of those. Do we use 3 buckets of hydrochloric acid to produce this? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I actually think we get the full amount back, don't we? Alright, so I actually think we get the full amount back. I could do another... Alright. So the next bit, let me do that here so I can see it. The next bit, yeah, I think we're going to get the entire amount back. If I'm doing my math correctly here. We need 8 of those to produce 6. Yeah. Alright. And then the oxalate. So I'm probably going to do... Let's do the chemical reactor, 2 more chemical reactors, and then the blast furnace over here. That's what we'll do. And then... How do I want to get stuff in the blast furnace? And we are, I think, set up for the next bit. We got our ethanol, we got our oxygen. I think I need a circuit of 9 in there, don't I? I just realized that. Oh. I was going to do that on the input bus, that's right. I just did a small one. Doesn't really matter. We don't need 500 and something just sitting in there, to be honest. Alright, so then I got our blast furnace set up, and we got oxygen somewhere. I don't remember. There's oxygen in there somewhere, right? Yeah, oxygen right there with the ender fluid tanks. And that should be this, which will produce the vanadium pentoxide, which will go into the large chemical reactor with the ethanol, oxygen, and then that will produce the oxalate. I probably should definitely set that. And then we'll just void the water. And then oxalate will go in here. And we'll produce the hydrochloric acid, which will come out back there. And then... I just realized, do I have an output bus for this? I don't think I ever put an output bus on. That might actually be an issue. That might output into that. Yeah, that's an issue, I think. Alright, let me just... We'll turn this off. No, we'll make sure that's disabled. Enabled. And I just need to put vanadium here. And that should produce the vanadium. Yep, there it goes. And then once that fills up... Oh. Actually, I need a fluid. That is a slower recipe. Actually, if we're actually sending... No, I need to... I don't want this running permanently. It'll just start voiding that. That's right. Fluid. And machine cover. I'll just do my usual 8,000, sure. Although that's producing 9,000, I might actually want to... That'll actually void that. I just realized that. Yeah, that will avoid that. Because there's not enough room. Alright, so I'm going to replace the hatch, make it a little bit bigger, just so we don't void this stuff. There's no reason not to. We got our oxalate there. I do need to figure out about what I am doing here. I kind of want to do output bus here. Probably just a... I'm thinking one of these. And then over here, we will just pipe in the cerium and the carbon. I think that'll be the easiest. With a stocking. The only problem is if it starts putting it in there, which it may. I don't really know how it... I don't know how it decides. Decides which hatch to actually go to. Alright, I know I could attach it to there, but I don't want to, like, lock that. I like branching off, like, the main line. I don't know. I like that. Let me just double check. So we got the oxalate, the thing, the one. Hydrochloric acid goes out top. Cerium oxalate should go out the bottom into the A system. Hopefully. Alright, let me just quickly replace this output hatch. I mean, technically I could be using those output hatches for everything, but there's really no need to have this running if we don't need it, so there's no point in wasting resources. Alright, so that'll turn off once this fills, and then that fills. That'll turn that off. That's turned off because this is full. Alright, this is the last bit. I totally am on the wrong one. This is the last bit. Alright, so where are you outputting? Alright, that is what I was worried about. Alright, I just need to... Ooh, that's a bit awkward. I just need to rearrange some stuff. I'm just setting that. Alright, so basically you remove the output bus from there, put it here, and input bus there. So we got our input bus, the cerium chloride. We got our oxalate, circuit of 1, output bus into ME are good. Move the hydrogen up there, stocking it from the back over here. And I think we are good. Once I get this going, we should start all three. Because this will produce the hydrochloric acid that the first one needs to produce the ammonia chloride. That this one uses, puts it back in. So all of them are running. We should be producing cerium oxalate, which will go in here. And cerium, let me get rid of this. Needs cerium and carbon, produces that. Did the wrong one. Actually, no. I'm going to have to do separate ones, because if I put the... It's going to go on there, and we don't want that to happen. So I need to do cerium and carbon on this one. Yeah, sometimes the sharing walls makes it more complicated. And then I guess just output bus. We could just go directly into ME. And that. think that should form it. Yeah. All right. So we got our cerium oxalate. We got that, and that will output whatever that yellow one was. I forget which one. Need to make sure. Won't be voiding it. That one I can just connect. Okay, and then... yeah, we're good on power. Alright, so we should be getting cerium... yeah, cerium oxide. Alright, so there is that whole line. I'll just throw it in the middle. Never did throw a thing down here. I'll throw it... this whole line is monazite. Yeah, that whole line is monazite. This is cerium, which comes from part of it. And that is the... let me throw all this stuff in here. I think we're good with all this stuff, at least for now. And then I need the cerium oxide. Will go in our electrolyzer, which I have a whole bunch of stuff on here. That, there you go. It's already gone. I didn't even see it work. Alright, so there we go. We're getting our cerium. That is going so fast I didn't even see it. Also, I forgot to hold this stuff. So I'll do that. Yeah, I'll hold the oxalate so I can finish these quests. But all right, we got our cerium. We got our rhenium. I just need to do the rare earth. We will process that. Also, I need to get this going in the thing. So I think we just put it through... I think we just put the rare earth through the ore washer, thermal centrifuge. And that gets us the rare earth, along with cerium-rich mixture. Now, that cerium-rich mixture is actually a little bit more complicated. The cerium-rich mixture doesn't go in this line. It actually goes into this. And the recipes actually conflict. That's a bit more complicated. I'll have to figure out... that would almost be... I would have to make a second... I don't know. That one's a little bit more complicated. Let me throw it over here. I'll have to deal with it. But we got all that. Yeah, so basically, you mix this with the nitrogen, or you mix it with water to get one. So it's the stuff that comes out of here, but if I try to put the cerium stuff in there, it clashes with the water cell. So I'll have to figure that. Maybe do 2 mixers. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But we got our cerium. I'll get the rare earth, and then we will get this stuff. All 79 of these. We will also get our ytterbium in the meantime. But anyway, that's going to be for today. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.